All right. You've reached a point now to where people are starting to talk. Not that you care, but you've reached a point now where people are starting to talk. Once you do something long enough, or any amount of time that could be considered consistent, people are going to have something to say. You think you can become something. You think you can do something, especially if it's the same thing as another person. Sometimes people get territorial. Sometimes people feel that they're the only person that's supposed to be doing something. Or if you go to do something that they're doing, sometimes, and this is just something that people do. Sometimes people tend to think that you're doing it because of them. Someone may be in the same field as you. Someone may have very well taught you some very useful, positive information, but lo and behold, you most likely had this dream before you came across this person. And sometimes people tend to think that, everybody's got an ego. Sometimes people tend to think that the reason why you're doing something is because they're doing something. They think that because they're doing it is the reason why you want to do it. Sometimes that is the case. Some people are doing things and it's like, oh, okay, a person wants to do that. But sometimes you see someone doing something that you already wanted to do. Sometimes you just need that extra. Sometimes somebody is a good visual hero for you. All right, sometimes someone is a good visual hero, but the fact that they're doing something and that may have motivated you to do it, it doesn't mean that you did it because they wanted to do it. And it also doesn't mean that just because they're doing it, you wanted to do it. And just because they're doing it, you can't do it. Or just because they're doing it, you didn't want to do it before them. All right, odds are you probably wanted to do this before them. You had hopes, you had dreams, you had aspirations. They were just the vehicle that helped you believe it was possible for yourself. And you have no problem admitting that. You have no problem admitting that, hey, yeah, certain individuals helped me see it as possible for myself. Sometimes people want to do things and people need to do things, but I thought that was the whole premise behind a mentorship, was to show people certain things and to teach them certain things, so that way they would actually know how to do what it is they're soliciting services from you for. But that's neither here nor there. All right, much respect and positive energy to everyone. But sometimes people get to feeling themselves, and sometimes when people get to feeling themselves, you got to speak up for yourself. All right, it's a lot of subliminals being thrown out there. Don't nobody want to be outright and honest and upfront about who they're talking about. All right, for the sake of positivity and for the sake of just it's no need for all that. It's unnecessary. But when you hear certain things, and it has a little, when you hear certain things, you can pretty much tell when something is a shot or some shade thrown at you or not. All right, so you have to still realize that just because other people are doing things, it doesn't mean you can't do it. All right, and just because somebody is doing the same thing as you doesn't mean that they're the reason why you wanted to do it. They very well may have been the reason behind you feeling that it was possible. You know what? This is possible. I always wanted to do this. I see somebody else doing it. If they can do it, so can I. If they can do it, so can I. Just because somebody does something and you're interested in doing that too, it doesn't take any of the amount of work ethic that you put into it. You put in the same amount of work. You put in the same amount. We're not gonna say that. You put in a good amount of work ethic, and then now it's being recognized. So what all you have to do is keep your eyes on the prize and continue to put out a decent amount of work ethic. If people are talking, that means you're doing something right, even if you're failing. Even if you're failing, if people are saying, oh man, you see the way he fails, he looking crazy out here. You know, that's not his calling. He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing that. Oh well, if you're doing something positive, and especially if it's something for a higher calling, even if it's not your calling, if it's for a higher calling, God may just want to use you for a little second. You know, just touch these people real quick, and then I'm pulling you out of this thing. That's not for you. I have something better for you. But trust and believe, if whatever you're doing is not your calling, God has something better. All right, everybody's not going to be great at everything they do. Everybody's not going to be perfect at everything they do, and everyone is not going to be better than everyone at everything they do that has started before them. Sometimes there are people that get their start before you, they're better than you, and they're always going to be better than you. Oh well, somebody's better than you. Is that going to stop you from having an impact on somebody's life? Is that going to stop you from reaching the people who you're supposed to reach? Everybody got a calling. Everybody got a purpose. So what? People are still trying to figure some things out. Does that mean they cannot help someone? Does that not mean that they don't have anything positive to say? Does that not mean that they can't be impactful for a moment? You know what? I was trying to figure myself out. I still did a lot of positive things that wasn't quite. Who cares? But the thing is, the only reason why people do care is because you're putting in some work. Even your failures, even your F's. You got so many F's up there. It's starting to get noticed. All them F's are starting to be put up there. Forget what they thought. That's what all them F's stand for. Forget what they thought. They could try to. I mean, people can say something negative about what you do. You still have to do it if it's something that you want to do. There are so many good, positive, motivational speakers out there and good, positive people out there. Why not more? We need more positivity going around, especially with people who look like me. We need more people who look like me with more messages like this. I'm just going to keep it real. I mean, we need more people, period, with messages like this. But when I look at the state and the condition of things that are happening involving people who look like me, we definitely, I could tell I'm just what the doctor ordered, baby. All right, so, you know, with everything else out there for you to listen to, I'm actually doing this with good intentions and for the right reasons. All right, this is tribal right here, what I'm doing. So support it. All right, want to see another person that looks like you succeed. You know, don't condemn somebody for trying and trying to do something just because it's the same thing as you. But that's just, you know, that's just our ego and our attitudes that we have. Oh, can't nobody do what I'm doing, or oh, ain't nobody gonna do it better than me, or it ain't about that. You know, maybe on an individual aspect to yourself, maybe, yeah. But when you publicly, you know, not in a competitive way, but in a way to where it's like a shameful way where you're trying to clown someone for trying. You're trying to clown someone for taking a stab at success. You're trying to clown someone for taking a jab at success. Isn't that what you have to do to become successful? But you got to realize that I'm not saying other people ain't real, but other people may just not be real like that. They may not be as real as they claim to be, because it's certain things that just real individuals don't do. Especially if you see somebody trying, you know, especially if you like, yo, take somebody under your wing, you know, make somebody your little brother, you know, show somebody the ropes. All right, but the thing is, we got this thing to where it's like, if I help you, you could end up better than me. If I instruct you, if I show you, if I help you, if you may end up doing better than me. I still feel that way, but I still help people. I don't care if you're going to do better than me or not. I'm still going to help you. I pray the negative feelings away. I pray the negative energy away, and I still go out and help people. You know what? That's wrong. It's enough out there for everybody. I get myself in check. That's not right. Don't be like that. How would you feel? Don't be like that. Help them. Everybody feels the same way. It's just whoever chooses to become the master of self and defeat their negative energies, defeat their demons, man. All right. So I know you can't show a person everything. You can't give them the whole recipe. You pick them tomatoes from over there. You get the basil from over there. The oregano comes from this plant. All right. You dry it up, let it sit out in the sun, and hey, that's all I got. Everything else, you're going to have to figure it out. All right? You're going to have to put some spices in that thing. You're going to have to, get the taste right. You know how it tastes, so go from there. You can't tell people everything, but you could at least help them out with a foundation, something to stand on, a format. All right? And I'm not saying, I'm not saying you got to go out your way to go do that. But if that's the type of person you are, if that's your style, hey, the people would definitely be able to benefit off of that, and that would help them. All right, but talking about them, clowning them for trying, like, come on, man, what part of the game is that? If somebody's calling, it's not their call. Like, see, I'm different than these people out here, man. And this is, and I'm not saying nobody is not real, but they just not real like that. All right, what I'm saying is, there's like certain stuff that people do is fake. Somebody's doing the same thing as you, and you clowning them for it instead of uplifting them for it. You throwing shade at them. You being low key coming at them and stuff like that. I mean, hey, to each their own. But it's a territorial thing. I know some people are territorial. This is what I do. How dare you try it? I understand. People are territorial. It's the same thing as certain jobs and stuff like that. You go to the job, people are territorial. It's like, hey, these are our female friends. Don't be talking to our female friends. These are our female friends, or this is our buddy. Don't be cracking jokes and trying to be friends with our person that we crack jokes. I don't be on that type of stuff, man. I'm really too cool for all that stuff. I got some things I have to work on, but I stay to myself. That's why I'm always to myself, because I know I have some things that come with Druuill. I know some things that come with Druuill. That's why I'm always trying to work on me. And the only time I really get pissed off is when I get interrupted, because it's like, you stopping me from becoming the best version of myself. How dare you? You ain't never gonna do that. You gonna come up missing an eye or a limb trying to stop Druuill from becoming his best version. Okay, I think everybody know that by now. Some one of us ain't coming out alive. You try to stop me from becoming my best version, it's gonna be all hell to pay. The whole world gonna fall apart behind chosen ones. Somebody getting in the way of a chosen one trying to become their greatest version. Please. But don't be discouraged because other people think that what you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing. There are other people that spend plenty of times in the wrong field. I'm talking about whole careers, whole decades, and they finally do they end up not being successful? No. Oh man, I was in the wrong career. Still got a house, car, health insurance, everything paid for. Please, man, come on, man, stop. Like, people are focused on the wrong things, man. And I understand why. I understand why. People are, this is what you do. You're doing something. You're heavily into it. Who do you think you are, thinking you would come step on my toes and come into my house and do my thing? But the thing is, sisters, brothers and sisters, there's more great people out there than just the one person that you may find on the internet. There's more great people out there than just that one person's book you may have picked up at the library. That's like finding somebody that put out a greatness book, and then you gonna put out another greatness. Man, I already put out a book on greatness. What are you talking about? What? Man, y'all should have been great 3 years ago. Let me tell it. Come on, man. Stop playing with a vessel, man. It's so much material and so much talent out there on wanting to be good and wanting to be great. And I, you know what I'm saying? I show support to everybody. So it's like, man, I am the ultimate brother. You know, it's about time to start claiming stuff, because we got to feel good. All these people slandering us, talking crap on us, making us feel bad about ourselves. It's time to call a spade a spade. I am the ultimate brother, damn it. You know, I'm the ultimate brother. You know, I don't hate on, you know, people. I don't, if I have any issue, I keep it to myself and I work on it. I don't bring it to you or make it a problem with you or make it a problem for you. Acting a little weird ain't never hurt nobody. I keep my negative energy to myself. You know? If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all, right? All right. If I don't have anything good to say, I'm not going to say it at all. And I'm not going to spread no toxicity. I'm going to keep it to myself, pray, talk to God about it, work on it, something. But I'm not going to condemn or put down somebody else for trying. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to make somebody feel bad about wanting to do something and wanting to be great. There's a million people out there doing the same thing. Why do you think they have speakers? There's such thing as a speakers convention. You know, how would someone you know, I mean, there's such thing as a speakers convention. There's 100,000 plus speakers that go to those things. There are 100,000 plus people that write self-help books. There are 100,000 people that are doing that do positive things, and still all get paid evenly or equally according to the work that they put in. So people can say whatever they want, but they can't take the amount of work away from you that you put in, even if it doesn't amount to anything, even if it doesn't amount to greater than theirs. And you're not in competition with anyone. You're not trying to outdo anyone. You may use them as a reference. You may use them as a point of reference on where, you know, you should shoot or aim to become successful. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with having motivational heroes, people who motivate you to do better. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with having people motivate other? I thought that's what it was all about. You know, ain't nobody gonna want to do the same thing. You just motivating random people to just go off and go do something else. Ain't nobody gonna want to actually, you know what, I think I could do that. Nobody's gonna say that to themselves, bruh. Ain't all the hundreds of thousands of people getting motivated. Ain't one of them gonna want to be a motivational speaker, especially before they possibly even came across you, good brother. You know, I'm the ultimate brother, man. I am a man's man. I'm not quite sure about that saying, but I'm also a brother's brother. All right. You know, it is what it is, man. Like, it's certain, like, you either thorough or you not, man. Like, it's just a lot of qualities and traits I have that I appreciate, you know. It's a lot of qualities and traits I have that I appreciate. Certain things I just wouldn't do. Certain things are just not in me. And I'm not saying I'm better because of anybody else or whatever, you know, they got going on. But it's like, it's certain things when you just hear it, it's just like, wow, really, bro? Like, you know, like, really? I thought we was all high vibrational and on a higher frequency. I thought we was right here. I thought we was all right here, up here, vibrating high. But I mean, apparently we not vibrating as high as I thought, and I'm slightly disappointed by that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm cause like when you, it's like, yo, when it's like rappers finding out somebody's car wasn't theirs. It's like rappers finding out somebody's jewelry not theirs. You done hustled your way up to be just like them, to be real, to work hard, to do all the things you need to do to become successful, and you find out, man, that stuff is phony. You're not really about, like, come on, oh man, like, bro, you're not as on point as I thought you was, bro, not really who. And I mean, I guess you could say that about anybody, you know. Sometimes when you get around your heroes, they may let you down because your perception of them doesn't fulfill or meet the idea that you had in your mind. And I understand that. People are just people at the end of the day. We come on here, we talk our positive talks, we praise God, but we're just people. We're divine beings at the end of the day, just like everybody else. Shout out to all the other divine beings. And on top of that, we're original. On top of that, we're original. All right, we do research. All right, we're original. We do research. We study. We do everything that we need to do to put forth a good effort to bring forth something that nobody else is doing. May be similar, may sound quite the same, but no. We are far from what everybody else is doing. And the test of time will show that. So when people are, talking and making statements and saying things, the test of time is going to show who's really for what they say they're for. The test of time will show. And I'm only speaking that from a individual point, from an individual standpoint. So for all the people out there that are saying this about you, for all the people that are saying that about you, the test of time will show with the work that you put in. Is this something that you're really about? Is this really something that you love to do? It may not be your calling. You may never figure out your calling, but you're gonna damn sure try. You're not gonna be discouraged because of someone that is ahead of you and the low-key shade they throw or the negative statements they make. We're it is what it is. So what? Something may not be your calling. So what? Someone may not be your profession. Is it helping people? Are you doing something positive? Are you benefiting off of it? Are other people benefiting off of it? Doesn't matter what somebody thinks. Oh, that's not his calling. Well, he's doing a damn sure good job at trying. He's doing a damn sure good job at doing the best he can with what he's got. And the great people that I've studied before I even knew about, with the great people that I've studied. All right, I've known about the people that you hear me talk about in my videos for over a decade. Almost over a decade. I've known about Les Brown longer than I've known about some of the other positive people that I've come across. Does that make me any better? No. Does that make them any better that they're ahead of me? Maybe as far as the profession goes, but as a man, as a divine being, child of God, no. I could work, I could put in work, and I can get myself up to a presentable, professional point. So for people to say you look crazy and all these other things, people are going to be able to say what they want. They got a mouth. They can open it, words come out. People are going to say things, but it's only because you're staying consistent. People are starting to get worried. They start, oh man, is he really going to keep this up? Is he really going to stay consistent? He's really doing this. He's really putting his best foot forward with this. People are going to say you look crazy. Everybody's got to start. You got to start somewhere. If they weren't, they wouldn't be able to talk. They wouldn't be able to say anything if you weren't doing anything. All you have to do is stay consistent and keep growing and keep moving forward. Let people talk. Let them have their ha-has, their hee-hees, their giggles, whatever else they got. All right, let them have all of it. Wiggles, giggles, jiggles, and wiggles. Whatever they want. All right, let them have it all. A ha-ha, hee-hee, whatever. Just keep working. All right, because as the days pass by and as you continue to put in work and grow and continue to better yourself, you're going to end up turning yourself into a professional. You're going to end up becoming an expert. You're going to end up becoming one of the top people in your field. All right, you have some people who have the hare complex of the story of the rabbit and the story of the tortoise and the hare. The rabbit was way more advanced, faster, had a better game, it looked like, than the tortoise. Tortoise was just slowly putting one foot in front of the other. But the thing is, you have to put one foot in front of the other. Slow progress is better than no progress, but you have to make slow progress. You have to make some kind of progress. You can't just sit there and do nothing. Otherwise, people will talk about you because you're gonna have the opinion, you're gonna have the idea that you think you're doing something, but you're not. Even if you're better off thinking you're doing something and not, and being aware of that, than just being a hamster, just going in a wheel, going in a wheel, going in a wheel. There are right ways to do things and methods to do things to get the right proper results. All you have to do is put in enough time, effort, and energy to figure that out. That's all anybody else did to become successful. Ignore the laughter, ignore the chit chatter, and get to work and figure out how to do things correctly and properly. So that way people can just shut up. That way you could just silence the critics, silence the doubters. At least when they talk their shit, they'll be saying they won't be able to say, you're a failure. They may say you're a failure still. They may talk about what you do, but deep down inside, you'll know you're not a failure because you took a risk. You went out and believed in yourself when no one else did. You had a dream and you went to pursue it. What more can anybody say but something that just fits their own narrative when you have a person like that? A person that chose to be successful, a person that chose to go after what they wanted in life, a person that chose to not be stopped. All right, you chose to not be stopped. You chose to not be discouraged. All right, there is experience in that. There's knowledge in that, wisdom in that, understanding in that, especially when most people are too afraid to even start or too afraid to even try. You got to be bold to see people who are giants and doing way better than you, people who are way bigger than you, and look up to them and say, you know what, I can do that. You know what, I could be all right. But some people don't like when people have the audacity because they feel that you're stepping on their toes, or they feel that you're taking something from them. You're not here to take anything from anybody. You're here to take what's yours. You don't have a lack mindset. There's enough out there for everyone. There's enough out there for us all to get what we want, for us to get our portion. There's enough out there for everyone. My cup running over doesn't stop your cup from filling up. My cup running over doesn't stop your cup from filling up. How would my cup running over stop your cup from filling up? It doesn't make sense. All right, you can't make it make sense. There's enough out there for us all, but we get caught up in over what this one's doing or that one's doing and their success. All we have to do is focus on ourselves. We have enough success. It's enough success out there for us all to have some. All right, it's enough success out there for us all to have some. All right, regardless of people's opinions, regardless of their ideas of you, regardless of how farther along than you are, regardless of how successful more they are than you, if they are, you're still going to be able to create the life you want, regardless of how bad they say you are, regardless of how further along they are than you, regardless of how earlier they started than you. Oh, well, somebody could have started before you 3 years ago. Somebody could have started before you 20 years ago. It doesn't matter. No one is going to be saying exactly the same thing. I said that 3 years ago. Okay, I'm going to say it again. We need more people saying it. We need more people saying positive statements. We need as many people saying it as we could ever imagine. And see, this is how you know who's really, are you really doing it for the people? Or are you really doing it for yourself? Because it shouldn't matter who says something. If it's helpful and it's positive and it's not hurting the people, how's it going to damage anybody to hear it again? Especially if 3 years, if you checked on them and they still in the same spot, they definitely need to hear it again. But some people may feel some type of way about how you package or present yourself, because maybe it's a little creative or a little bit more charismatic or just different. Screw all that being more of this or better that. Maybe you're just different. All right, maybe you're just different and you bring a different flavor to the table that's already been brought. All right. So just because you're not as good as someone else, just because they got their start before you, just because they're greater than you, doesn't mean you should be discouraged or not give it your best shot or try, because you never know. You might end up in a better position than them. You may end up in a better position than you thought. You may end up in a better position than they thought. So it's not about what they think. It's about what you see for yourself, what you're willing to work towards, and all the people you're willing to block out along the way. That's what it's about. Blocking out some doubters, blocking out some naysayers, blocking out some dream busters. You dream busters, you. All right, dream busters. Who you gonna stop from dreaming? Not a chosen one. All right, they're not gonna stop us from dreaming or living and dreaming. You know, people used to say that to me and gaslight the crap out of me. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, what's wrong with having a dream? Some people will make fun of you for having one or thinking that you can have a life other than what you have already, but that's just because they don't have anything at all. They don't have any hope. They don't have a dream. They don't have any good idea about themselves. These are all things that a person has to have in order to try. You have to become someone different. You have to have a good idea about yourself. You have to feel positively about who you are, because if not, and no one that doesn't feel positively about themselves isn't going to try anything. People that are confident, people that know who they are, those are the ones who are willing to go out and give it their best shot. They know they may not be the best. They know they may not have all the equipment or all the money backing them, all the resources. They know they may not have all the people to be interested in what they're doing, but they're still going to try. They're still going to put their best foot forward and give it their all. And they're not going to stop for you. All right? Just because you have a negative opinion over what somebody else is doing doesn't mean they're going to stop for you. You may have been doing your thing, which is great and amazing, and kudos to you. All right? But other people got to do their thing. Other people got to get their shine on. Their shine may not be as bright as yours. Who cares? Maybe they're not trying to shine brighter than you. Maybe they're just trying to shine and get that little light, get this little light of mine out there. Maybe they're just trying to get their message out there. That's it. It's all good. People are going to be better than you in the same field as you that you would have a desire to be successful in. It's okay. You have to accept it. It's the only thing you can do. Otherwise, you end up being a disgruntled spirit. You end up turning into a hater. All right. So, without stepping on any toes, you're not here to outdo or be better. You just want to be better than who you see when you look in the mirror. You want to be extremely successful, and you're going to be extremely successful. They're going to have a lot to say. You just have to block it out and ignore it and stay focused on what it is you want to do with your life and who you're becoming. All right, there's some people who may have something to say because you're in the same field as them. They may be clowning you and talking about you, and maybe people are asking them questions. Yo, who's this person imitating you? Who's this person trying to do this? You're not imitating anybody. You're not copying anybody. All you want to do is become successful, and you saw an avenue for it, and you looked at someone doing something positive and great, and you said, you know what, that's for me. I can do the same thing. And you went out and you achieved it, and you took a stab at it. And you sunk your teeth into the heart of success. All right, because you're not playing. All right, whatever way, we got people out here selling drugs and harming the community. Give me a break. All I'm trying to do is take a positive way out. I see a positive way out. I'm taking it. I see a positive way out of poverty and out of the struggle and whatever else poor folks be dealing with that I don't have to deal with. I'm choosing a way out. Oh, I'm just gonna sit here and watch everybody else get paid and become successful and live their dream. You must be think I'm crazy. Ain't none of that going on. Go out and get what you want, everybody. Go out and go after what you want, everybody. Don't let other people who are ahead of you make you feel bad or discourage you. That's like other people having a whole bunch of nice cars and you get a car and thinking that your car don't run any better because it's not nice as everybody else's. So what? You got your car, don't you? Yes, you do. You're grateful for it, right? You liked it when you bought it. You sat in it. See, sometimes people like to make you not like what you have going on, or they like to make you feel bad about what you have going on, because even though you're doing the same thing as them, they may not be happy. You got two millionaires, one basketball player, another basketball player. One could be happy, the other's not. Same lifestyle, same amount of money made, same dream they made come true. One's happy, one's not. Some people get upset when they see you have more fun doing what they're doing than them. And who's to say, maybe you're not having more fun than them. But for them to come out their mouth and to say something or throw shade or low-key make a statement, then hey, if they have something to say, then they notice you or feel some type of way about what you're doing. But don't take that to heart and don't let that become a problem, and keep your eyes on the prize. Maybe someone is just a little egotistical or a little territorial, and that's okay. Send them love, send them appreciation, send them gratitude, send them thanks, send them success, health, wealth, prosperity, and money. And the same will come back to you. All right, don't worry about people who feel some type of way that you're doing the same thing as them. Maybe that was their thing and it's still their thing, and they want it to be just their thing. Maybe they don't want nobody else to do that thing. All right, but that's you have the right to become successful without stepping on anybody's toes or being disrespectful or trying to belittle or throw shade or come at anybody. You have the right to be successful. You have the right to anything anybody else has. In fact, when you see it, at that point, it's yours. When you see what other people have, it's not theirs anymore. It's yours. In the metaphysical sense, in the spiritual sense, you got to claim it. You know what? That's for me. You don't go up there and pull a Christopher Columbus on them and just take their shit. But what you do is you say, you know what? And I'm talking about the inaccurate, the historically inaccurate, the one that didn't exist, that Christopher Columbus. All right, we still trying to figure out what the one that existed, we still trying to figure out what his whole role in this thing was, but that's a whole nother video, okay? All right. Anyway, they're upset because you discovered something. See how I pulled that in there? You discovered a way to make things work out for you. You discovered a way to get your life together. Some people who you go off to do the same thing as them, they don't ever think it's going to pick up. Some people you go to do the same thing as them, they don't even think it's going to work. They going to start asking you for questions. And then on top of that, they still not going to share nothing with you. So you got to be careful with some people. They may not mean you any harm, but they just, they not into to sharing too many things. And whatever you are willing to give, they going to take it. All right, so hey, what's so negative about that? A little uneven, if you ask me, in terms of checks and balances. But hey, it is what it is. Some people put their hand in the pot and take something out without putting anything back in, and that's okay. That's okay too. It ain't nothing but love. All right. Shout out to all the successful people. Shout out to all the people who wanted to make it, who want to make it in this world, who see themselves becoming better day by day, who aren't going to allow themselves to be discouraged. All right. We're not going to allow ourselves to be discouraged. People can say what they want. All right. Speak your dream or say what you got to say, even if your voice shakes. All right. Even feel the fear and do it anyhow. Whether you're afraid, whether you're scared, whether you don't think you're good enough, whether you're insecure, go after your dream. Go up and talk to that person if it's about success. All right, no cold approaching out here. Everything is going to work out for you and your dream, even if that calling is not specifically your calling. you're still going to become successful some way, somehow. Why? Because you have the idea of success in your mind. It's not your fault you believe in yourself that you can do anything. It's not your fault that you playing Russian roulette out here with other people's faith and careers and livelihoods. It's not your fault that you looking at, I think I can do that. I think I can do that. It's not your fault you think you can do whatever you look at or put your hands on. You may have to learn. It may not be easy. It may be difficult. It may make you bang your head against the wall. It may be easier for other people than it is for you. But if you stick with it, and if it's something that you really want to do, you'll figure it out. And if it's not what you're meant to do, you'll figure that out along the way. And guess what? You'll find out what you're meant to do. And guess what? If you don't quit or give up, you'll have experience, some money, and you'll have a fan base, or you'll have some people to support you along the way. So don't you listen to people out here and stop doing what you're doing just because you may not be as good as them, or it's not your calling. Is it working for you? To hell with what those people think. With all the love and respect and kindness in the world, to hell with what those people think. Just because that's not his calling. Oh, the hell well. Guess what? I'm still gets on do my thing. I'm still gets on gets it right. All right. Just as terrible as that pig Latin was, or as terrible as these videos may be, which I know they're not, I'm still going to continue and go on. All right. And I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still going to continue to raise the bar. I'm still going to continue to reach for the stars. I'm still going to continue to reach for success. Well, I'm going to stop just because somebody else is, it's an unfortunate sight to see for them. Or maybe not. I don't know. But guess what? Look, don't stop becoming successful because other people have an opinion. Don't stop becoming successful because other people feel some type of way about what you're doing. They may feel some type of way about what you're doing, but it doesn't mean you should quit, you should stop, you should give up. It's something that they're going to have to deal with. All right. When you're doing something, you're not going to be the only one that does it. You may love the fact that you do it, but you're not going to be the only one that does it. And the fact that other people do it, it doesn't take any impact away from what you do. You are still the same person no matter how many people pick up and try to do what you do. Nobody's going to do what you do better than you. Nobody can do what I do better than me. You should only strive to do what you can do. When I get on here, I do me, man. I do me. I'm as real as I can get. I be as real as I can be. I come on here and I do my thing. I come on here and I do my thing. And that's all you need to do when it comes to you and your thing. Whatever you're doing, do your thing. If somebody else starts to do your thing that you think you do, hey, it may feel some type of way, but guess what? Just focus on you. That person is not going to take anything from you. That person's wins or success is not going to take anything from you. Their achievements, their successes, their wins aren't going to stop you from having the same thing. If you let it get in your mind and make you feel that way, it will create that. But if you work your mind into believing that there's abundance, there's enough out there for me, myself, and everyone included, then guess what? That's what you're making real for yourself. Some people haven't fully grasped the concept, or firmly grasp it, the concept of the concept of a abundance mindset. Some people are still dealing with the idea and the thought of lack. If someone else does better than me, then that's going to take away from me, or somebody else does a good job, that could potentially take something away from me. That's the wrong mindset to have. All right, that's the wrong mindset to have, folks, especially when there's so much good out there for each and every one of us. All you have to do is be willing to work for it, and be willing to grind, and be willing to take the time to work towards becoming successful. It's enough out there for us all. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And that's why people are talking, because you're willing to put in the work. All right, you're willing to put in the work, and you're not just not doing nothing. Even if people may feel that way, even if that's the impression people get, let them feel that way. Let that idea of you be impressed upon them. But as long as you know what you're doing every day, as long as you know you're doing the things that are going to move you an inch closer, or an inch forward, or a step closer to your dream every day, you know you're going to be successful. You know you're going to make it. It's only a matter of time. So that's why it's just at this point it's important for you to stay focused on what's important, and anything else, just don't pay attention to it, because it's really not serving you any purpose. Peace, love, and light. We out.